Three, two, one. Hi. Welcome to season two's first official Unplugged episode with me, Danielle. So I decided I'm going to start recording my episodes because I want to start putting them on YouTube. So we're going to get video in there, which means that I need to get ready before these recordings. I wanted to talk today. Obviously, the new trailer went up. You know the direction in which this podcast is going. And I kind of just wanted to share a little bit about why I'm making the switch. And also kind of calm any fears that might be going on about, because I know whenever there's change, there will be people that think like, oh, this is no longer for me. And I want to kind of calm your nerves a little bit and say that this is still a podcast that's for anyone, even if we are niching down a little bit. And honestly, just full transparency, one of the podcasts that I'm super inspired by is School of Greatness with Lewis Howes. And he talks a lot about how, he's like a lifestyle entrepreneur, and his podcast does everything. I mean, they talk about wellness, they talk about sports, they talk about business, they talk about mindset, they talk about money, they talk about, there's so many different avenues that podcast takes. But if you go back to the very beginning of when he first started that podcast, he did niche down quite a bit and really did just focus on entrepreneurship and money mindset and stuff. And now he's kind of able to talk about whatever he wants, whenever he wants, but it didn't start like that. And so I wanted to start this podcast being able to talk about whatever I wanted to. And that's great. And I do think that we're going to get there. And I really want it to grow. And I think what I'm realizing about podcasting is that in order for it to really grow, just like on the internet, just like on Instagram, you do have to niche down if you really want to grow, because you gotta show your target audience like what you're about. So that's the reason why we are niching down and focusing on authentic entrepreneurship. That's the biggest reason, at least. The second reason is that it's my life right now. I just jumped out of the nest that is employee career at SoulCycle. I was there for almost 9 years, and I had an incredible career there. I love that brand so much, and I have nothing but love for everybody that works there. And it was time for me to leave the nest and kind of, break up with my fear a little bit and jump into what I now call full-time entrepreneurship, which will look like a lot of different things. Obviously, I am in the network marketing world, and I am in the top 1% of my company. So that is a huge blessing in my life that I've worked really hard for and continue to work really hard for. Second is this podcast. I have huge dreams for this podcast. I want it to monetize really well. I want it to keep growing. I want it to be in every country. And I know that we're gonna do that now that I have more energy to focus on it. And see, I am working on a lot of things right now. I'm TBD, but there could be a growth conference in there somewhere. There could be some online courses for people looking to improve their mindset or become entrepreneurs. I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve, and I'm just getting started. And so we're going to do it together. If you're listening to this out there and maybe you are working in network marketing, or you are becoming an entrepreneur, or you were one of the people like myself who realized in 2020 that you actually don't need to work for someone else. And it's actually a lot less. I mean, there are more risks associated with entrepreneurship, of course. And it's a lot more safe. There's a lot more safety in that, I am really excited about where my life is going right now. And I want to help and add value to anybody out there who, if you're listening to this podcast and that's you, let's do it together, man. Let's dive in together. Right. So one of the first things I really want to talk about, we're going to go hard with starting with interviews next week. But one of the things I really want to talk about is this idea of business strategy. And I was talking to my friend Ilaria Reed, who is such a gem of a human being. She's a motivation. She's a business coach. She's an affirmation specialist. Like, she's just amazing. If you don't follow her, you should. At Ilaria Reed. And she actually, is that her Instagram? Did I just totally butcher that? Let me see. It is, yeah, at Ilaria Reed, ILARIAREED. She posted something that said the most underrated business strategy is devotion. And I was like, oof, child, you are speaking my language now. You are right into my heartstrings. And I could not agree with that more. Here's why. I meet entrepreneurs all the time. Obviously, part of my job in network marketing is to, connect with other humans that could be really good in this industry, or, and I think when you are an entrepreneur and when you're kind of walking the walk and talking the talk in that, a lot of people will come to you for advice. And so I've had a lot of people come to me, and I've kind of helped and coach people through mindset stuff and, working through some of that head junk that exists with entrepreneurship. And always, most of the time people have a huge vision, they know what they want. They know the legacy they want to leave for their family. They have a dollar number in their head about like what they want to make, which, like, by the way, like, we got to stop treating money like taboo. Like, I want to be a billionaire. I'm going to do it. I don't necessarily know how I'm going to do it, but I know I'm going to do it. And I hope that you have similar goals for yourself, because I think that we've been trained as a society to think that if we want to make money, that's gross, or it means you don't care about people. And I kind of, it's kind of the exact opposite. Like, I care about people so much. And I know that the more money that I make for myself and my family, the more that we can give away and help others. So I'm all for big money goals. So anyway, people will come to me. They have huge goals. They have huge, money making things that they want to achieve. And, they have a network of people that love and support them. And they're so ready, right, to just jump in. They're ready to stop working for the man, and they're ready to start this business, and they're ready to go. And they have so much fire in their belly, and they're just passionate, right? They lack devotion. And what I mean by that is, when it gets hard, they ghost. They're gone, right? Like, they're like skirt, like out of cell service indefinitely. And I see that a lot. And I think it's because the most underrated business strategy is devotion, as my friend Ilaria said. And one of the things that I really want to nail home in this episode is that you have to fall in, and you have to fall in hard. You have to treat entrepreneurship like a relationship, like a marriage. Like, you are not leaving this. I mean, unless it truly doesn't serve you. But here's the thing, like, if you are going to walk away quick when it gets hard, guess what? Like, it was never meant for you, because quite honestly, and this might be a little bit of a gut punch, but I'm not here to sugarcoat things, but I am here to be your hype girl. It's going to get hard. You are going to be afraid. You are going to have horrible months where you wake up after the close of a month and go, what am I doing? Like, I made no money last month. I spent and invested way more money than I made. You're going to feel like a failure. You're going to fail, and you're not a failure, but you're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do the wrong thing. You're going to say the wrong, like, all of those things are going to happen. It's not a matter of if they happen, it's when. And I think when you start a business, if the first thing in your mind is like, well, I'm going to try, well, you're going to try, or you're going to do it. You're going to try, or you're going to make it happen. Because if you're going to speak giant dreams, and I have conversations all the time with people that are like, I want to build an orphanage in Africa. I want to, help the homeless. Like, they have these huge dreams, right? I want to move, and I want to build a dream home for my family, and I want to have like a animal rescue, and all of these things take money. But they have these big dreams, and they're ready to go, and they dive in, and everything's going well. And you first start, because when you first start a business or, a side hustle, there's a lot of excitement, and people are like, ooh, what's he or she doing? Like, I want to do that. And then it gets hard, and then a month slows down. And then there are those people that go, ooh, it's not for me. It just didn't work for me. No, it's not that it didn't work for you. It's that you didn't work. It's that your devotion wasn't there. It's that you weren't so in love with this that you were committed. It's that you lacked commitment. That's what it was. It wasn't that it didn't work for you. It's that you lacked commitment and devotion and were quick to run away. And if that's you, then entrepreneurship isn't for you. And that's okay. I mean, we need 9 to 5. We need corporate people. Like, that is a lifestyle, and that is for some people. It's not for me. And if you're listening to my podcast, I'm going to assume that it's not for you either. So you have to ask yourself, like, are you devoted? That's the first question I want you to think if you're jumping into entrepreneurship is, are you devoted? Are you ready to not quit? Because when the going gets hard, the true entrepreneurs, they don't quit. They don't walk away. They get over, like, you got to get over yourself. We entrepreneurs have to get over ourselves and stop complaining about the way of the world, because everybody's going through it. Everybody is going through and just went through a global pandemic, right? Like, everybody experienced COVID fatigue. Everybody experienced depression and fear and anxiety and stress and all those things. Everybody experienced that. So the true entrepreneurs are the ones that don't complain, and instead they find income producing or goal-oriented solutions, and they keep moving forward. So that has to be you. That has to be you if you are starting out or continuing along an entrepreneurial journey. Because if you in your heart know that when it gets hard, you'll walk away because that's easier than staying through the hard, then it was never meant for you. So I'm going to say that I agree with my friend Ilaria when I say that the most underrated business strategy is devotion. It's also the most important, because that's going to keep you in the game. All the motivation in the world isn't going to keep you when you're not devoted, when you're not in it to win it, right? It's so easy to be motivated, but you can't motivate your way to success. Success is determined by the amount of discipline you have and the amount of commitment and devotion you have to what you're doing, period. So that's where we're going to start. That's the first little nugget I'm going to drop for you. And I hope you're maybe watching this on YouTube, because now you can see my face and you can see that I'm here for you. And I'm a real person. And I'm not just talking sweet nothings into your ear, although I will sweet nothing talk you forever. But yeah, that's where I'm going to start. On Tuesday, we have a great interview for you. And then, of course, we'll have episodes every Tuesday and Friday like usual. And sometimes they'll be just me. Sometimes we'll have some interviews. But I have a lot of really good people coming this season. And I hope that me niching down and focusing on the season that I'm truly in will be good for you as well. But share this with somebody who needs it. Share it with, somebody that who's starting a business, or somebody in, the entrepreneurial space and network marketing space. Share it with them. And I hope you have an incredible day wherever you are. See ya.